Alrighty, good Thursday afternoon, Arkansas. This is Chief Forecaster coming back here once again, here to give you guys a quick live stream going over the severe weather potential as we get towards tonight. I'm going to wait for a few more people to come in because I have a quick public service announcement I need to make regarding what's going to be happening tonight. So I need to wait for a few more people to come in, make sure that we can get some more people in. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so there's a lot of people that are still at work and stuff like that here. I hope everybody's having a good Thursday, by the way. Unfortunately, I had to talk about severe weather today, and then we're going to talk about the winter weather threats we get towards tomorrow here. So these are current temperatures across the board right now, almost 70 degrees in El Dorado. That is nuts with it being January. So, looks like we've got a lot of people in right now. If you end up missing this live stream, you can always rewind it. And you can also check out the page as well because we have a lot of information on there. I'm going to get started with the public service announcement real quickly here. First and foremost, especially tonight, we're going to be talking about severe weather here. I know a lot of people are just dying to have their winter weather questions answered for that Sunday, Monday time frame. And I guarantee you guys, once we get past tonight, we're going to talk all things winter weather over the next 3 days. But until that happens, we're going to talk about severe weather. We have an enhanced risk, significant tornado threat as we get towards night, significant large hail threat as we get towards night, and also the potential of a significant damaging wind event tonight as well. So please respect that, guys. Like I mentioned before, if I had a choice, I would not be sitting here talking about severe weather. I'd be talking about winter weather. But that's the cards we're dealing with. We've got to get through this first, and then we will talk to you guys about the winter weather threat as we get towards tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday with continuous coverage as we get towards this weekend here. Okay, so as you already tell across the board, it is a lot warmer than it has been. Temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s right now. The green that you see coming up at this point is the moisture return that's coming into Arkansas. That's setting the stage for the potential of seeing some severe weather as we get towards late tonight. Let's take a look at your instability real quickly here. And it's not much at this point, but it's continuing to move northward here. And what we're going to do is we're going to zoom this out so you guys kind of get a perspective of how much instability is coming north out of East Texas and Louisiana. That's going to set the stage for severe weather as we get into the overnight hours tonight. I know temperatures are relatively cool right now, with them being in the upper 50s and low 60s, but please keep this in mind. You don't need temperatures to be 70 and 80 degrees to see severe weather. You can get severe weather with a storm system like this. Take a look at the temperatures back out west, upper 60s, low to mid 70s out here. That warm air is going to eventually make it into Arkansas as we get towards tonight and into the overnight hours, setting the stage for that severe weather threat here, okay? So let's go over this real quickly here, guys. We're going to go over Futurecast, and then I'm also going to answer some questions as well. So like I mentioned before, the enhanced risk across southwestern Arkansas, it is a level 3 severe risk across the area. You have that slight risk in place across the area as well from central into southeastern and eastern Arkansas. I don't want anyone letting their guard down because there's been a lot of chatter on social media saying that the risk is like super low, nothing's going to happen. We're intentionally not talking about the winter weather. It's not the case, guys. We have a legitimate threat for severe weather, and we're going to talk about it, okay? So I do believe central, southern, and southwestern Arkansas at this point stands the biggest shot of seeing severe weather. The further north you go, the lower your risk is going to get because of the fact that you won't get the solid moisture return up there. So I think probably you see where that slight risk area is, level 2 from Fort Smith to Clinton, or which was Jonesboro, down in the central Arkansas, and then down in the southern and southwest. I think that's probably going to be the best area you see severe weather for tonight. I'm not ruling out anything in North Arkansas, but I think your chances up there are a little bit lower compared to what we would be dealing with here in central and in the southwestern Arkansas here. So this is your tornado threat across the board here. It is a level 3 hatched tornado risk across southwestern Arkansas, which basically that means that the potential for strong tornadoes is on the table from Mena to Hot Springs to Arkadelphia, El Dorado, Texarkana, Magnolia, Hope, to Queen, over to Daisy. Those areas need to be on guard as we get towards tonight here, okay? I promise you, we're going to get through this, guys. Once we get through this, I've got a ton to talk to you guys about as we get towards Sunday and Monday here. But we've got to get through this severe weather threat first. The yellow zone from Waldron to Little Rock to Stuttgart all the way to the Lake Village area, that is a level 2 tornado risk. I don't want anyone letting their guard down in that yellow zone area. That tornado threat is still there. It's not as high as it is in southwestern Arkansas, but you still have a tornado threat to deal with. And in the green area from Fort Smith to Jasper to Batesville all the way down to Helena, that is where you have a level 1 tornado risk right now. It is not considerably high. However, still keep your guard up if you're in any kind of tornado risk as we get towards night. Also, I want you guys to do me a big favor as well. If you know someone that has not downloaded our app and don't know what to do when there's a tornado warning, let's help them out, Arkansas. Let's be kind. Help your neighbor, help your friend, help your family member. Help them stay safe because their lives are just as important as yours. So keep that in mind here. Let's get that rolling. Make sure they have the app downloaded, they get the notifications and all that. That way when we have severe weather tonight, you guys aren't worried about a thing here. So that's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about, was that tornado threat here. Now, the large hail potential here. We'll have to watch across southwestern Arkansas as well. That hatch zone, I think there was an error with this graphic. It's not for the tornado threat. This will be for 2-inch in diameter hail across western and southwestern Arkansas, from Russellville to Hot Springs all the way down to DeQueen up to near Fort Smith. That hatched area that you see is going to be for 2-inch in diameter hail or greater and across the board. That yellow zone as well from Fort Smith to just outside of Searcy down into Stuttgart and into the Crosset area. That's where you're going to have to watch for that large hail threat as well. And then in the green zone from northern Arkansas down into southeastern Arkansas, the hail threat's a little bit lower. It doesn't mean you're not going to see any severe weather as we get towards the night here, okay? So let's talk about this as well. This is the damaging wind threat, and the damaging wind threat has gone up a little bit more than it has over the last day or so. So now you have that high-risk zone from southwestern Arkansas. That's Mount Ida, Hot Springs, down to El Dorado, Magnolia, Camden, Arkadelphia, Daisy, Hope, DeQueen, Texarkana. That area, I would highly recommend that you have your phones charged. Be ready for potential power outages here. We're talking about wind gusts almost to 75 miles per hour or greater, especially in that hatch zone that you see across central and the southern and in the southeastern Arkansas. So make sure that you're prepared for that as we get towards the night here, guys. Don't let your guard down tonight here. Tonight's going to be one of those nights that you need to stay with us. Make sure your phone stays on, and make sure you have our mobile app downloaded. That's going to be Arkansas Weather Watchers. You can look that up in the Play Store, or you can go to arkansasweatherwatchers.com/app, and it's going to have your it's going to take you straight to the app as well. Now, I'm going to leave this on here for just a little bit, and what I'm going to do, give me just 1 second, I'm going to see if I can get this to clear off a little bit. I'm going to leave the timing up right here because I have a lot of people that are probably asking about specific timing for counties or cities, etc. I'm going to leave this up right here so you guys kind of get a broad look at what timing is going to look like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer a few questions across the board. So I'm going to start with God. How likely is it for a tornado to form through this storm, and is it something that may produce a F3 or greater? It sounds really unstable here. Now, in southwestern Arkansas, you are hatched for the potential of seeing an EF2 plus. I do believe compared to other events we've had in the past, this is not going to be a total tornado outbreak where you see EF3s dropping left and right. However, if you get a supercell to develop and it were to sustain itself and tap into the wind energy we have in place, then there could be a strong tornado or a potentially significant tornado to deal with later on tonight. So something that we'll have to watch. That's a very good question, guy. Let me see here. So I'm just getting on here. What about Conway? Conway's on our graphics, guys. Got to make sure that you're paying attention to our graphics, guys. All of our graphics have cities and it has the counties. It's not a bash at anyone. It's to make sure that you're getting the proper information. So make sure, that's why I'm leaving this up right now so everyone kind of get a look and see what the graphic looks like for tonight. But this is the story. The severe weather threats on the table. Central and southwestern Arkansas has the best shot. Northern Arkansas, you guys, Right now, it depends on how far north the moisture actually gets. Central and south stands the best shot, but North Arkansas, you're kind of on that line because if it doesn't make it that far north, you're going to be good. However, I can't rule out a few strong thunderstorms as well as we get towards night here, okay? Great comment from Chandler, one of our coordinators. Make sure you know where your counties, your surrounding counties are, guys. It's not only for us, it's for your own safety, because if you get under a warning and you don't know where your county is, that county may be for you, and that could be potentially life-threatening, right? So make sure that you know where your counties are. You gotta make sure you know where your counties are. Up there in Fayetteville, I'm getting a lot of comments here, guys. So up there in Fayetteville, I couldn't get to your comment in time. But up there in Bentonville, I'm not expecting a tornado threat up there in northern Arkansas tonight. I'm not expecting it. Now, there could be a damaging wind and hail threat up there, but my focus right now is probably going to be with central and southern Arkansas for the tornado threat. Unless the moisture is greater than what we're seeing right now, I'm not really expecting too big of a tornado threat up there. I think central and southwestern Arkansas is going to have that potential here, okay? So let me see here. So what about northwestern Arkansas around Bentonville area? I've already answered that question. Not expecting too much in the way of severe weather up there. However, you could have some strong thunderstorms to deal with as we get towards the night here, okay? So let me see here. Like I said, timing's on the graphic right now, so you guys, you need that timing right here. Good question, Rebecca. This goes for everything. All the risks. That's the tornado threat, the damaging wind threat, and the large hail threat. That's all your severe weather in this timing map here, guys. It's not broken down from a tornado risk or a damaging wind risk or a large hail risk. This is broken down to all your severe risks. This is what we're expecting the severe storms to push through the state. That's going to be tonight and into the overnight hours at this point here, okay? So, since Searcy, good question as well. Since Searcy is cut down the middle, I would say your timing will probably be midnight to about 8 a.m. If your city happens to fall right on the line, I would take probably midnight to 8 a.m., especially across the Searcy area here. That would be your best timing across the board. So, watching from El Dorado, prayers for everyone tonight. Make sure that you have a plan ready to go. I promise you guys, I cross my soul. Once we get past this event, we are going to talk about winter weather. We're going to talk about the winter storm threat and everything like that. But we've got to get past tonight. We have to get past tonight. And a lot of people across the state, a lot of meteorologists, Paul the Weather Guru, seeing a lot of meteorologists across the board doing the same thing. They're prioritizing severe weather tonight because of the fact of how big the risk is. If this was a marginal event, I really wouldn't be talking about it too much, but this is an enhanced risk event where we have the potential of strong tornadoes, the large hail potential, and also the damaging wind potential as we get towards night. Folks, I'm going to make this clear, 1,000%. You've got to pay attention to the map. You have to pay attention to what's on the map. It has Little Rock, it has West Memphis, it has Arkadelphia, Hope, all of your cities that you're asking right now for specific timing. It is right here on the screen. You've got to pay attention to the graphics, guys. It is not only for us, it's for your own safety. Because if you don't know where your city is, you don't know where you fall on a timing map, it's going to come back and bite you in the behind. So you've got to make sure you know where your cities are. You have to know the information for taxes, for driver license stuff and all that. You've got to know it for weather too, guys, okay? So make sure you know that at this point, okay? So Discord as well, we've got a lot of information on there, and it's also a really good place to ask your weather questions here. There's the link. One of my guys, I'm pretty sure it's probably already pinned, but make sure you go to that as well, especially if you have a lot of specific questions. We'll be able to get to you a lot quicker over there. Still a little bit of delay because we have a lot of people that are asking questions right now, but we still will be able to get to you a lot quicker than we are on Facebook here. So, like I said, for tonight, and especially for this live stream, I'm not going to be answering any winter weather questions. And it's not because I'm ignoring it. It's because of the fact that my priority right now is with severe weather, because that's on our doorstep. The winter storm for Sunday to Monday is still 2 to 3 days out. And I guarantee you guys, once this clears out, the last storm pushes through Arkansas, we're going to talk about winter weather. We're going to talk about the winter storm potential. We're going to talk about snow and impacts and hypothermia, and all the other stuff you guys want to know about winter weather. You can bombard us with winter weather questions tomorrow. But I want everyone, every single person I'm seeing right now, 1.3K on Facebook, to prioritize severe weather over winter weather tonight because it is important. You have to. Because of the fact that we have the enhanced risk, the significant tornado threat, the large hail threat, the damaging wind threat, you're going to have to prioritize severe weather tonight over winter weather. You have more than enough time to prepare for winter weather right now. Severe weather is a couple of hours away. I know it's better to prepare for winter weather over severe, but right now severe weather is at the doorstep while winter weather is about 3 blocks away. So you got to deal with the severe threat first. You get past that, then you can bombard us all day long tomorrow, on Saturday, and on Sunday with winter weather questions. I guarantee you we will get to it. Okay, so Laura, good question. How fast is this going to move? I'm going to loop the Futurecast and let you guys watch this as we get towards tonight here. You can see the thunderstorm activity really starts to get going across the area as we get towards this evening and into the night. This should be moving pretty quickly. We shouldn't be dealing with this too much in a way tomorrow. This is going to be an overnight event, and it's going to clear out. Northwestern Arkansas, by the way, you have a winter weather advisory till I think 3 p.m. tomorrow because of the snowfall potential up there. But this is not going to be a widespread snowfall event. It's going to be an in, out, quick, gone, and you can see by 1 o'clock, we've got sunshine, folks. And we're clearing out, getting ready for the Sunday and the Monday time frame here, okay? So, great comment as well from Jim, one of our great forecasters here. Don't panic. Don't be scared. Just be prepared, guys. This is what we've talked about over the last couple of days. A lot of people probably didn't hear it because the winter weather is on the bigger topic right now. But we've been talking about this severe threat over the last couple of days. I think since it was a day 4 risk in southern Arkansas. So this is something that we've been preparing for. We've told you guys over and over and over and over again. But this is what we've got. We've got that severe threat tonight. We get through tonight. Tomorrow, guess what we get to do? We get to sit down, we get to have a bottle of Mountain Dew, and we get to talk about winter weather as we get towards tomorrow. But we've got to get past tonight. So I'm going to let this loop through. That's your Futurecast for tonight. It is warm enough to do something, especially on the back half, definitely. Let's see here. The dark gray is going to be from 11. Is it 11 a.m.? Did I put 11 a.m. or is it 11 p.m.? Let me go back and check that. I've had one of those days, so let me go back and check and make sure that, no, it's 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. Okay, it's 11 p.m., but I see your error up there. It said 11 a.m., which is supposed to be 11 p.m., so thank you for catching that. It's been one of those days where there's been a little bit of a graphic issue, but good catch. I'll get that corrected that time we get to after this live stream here, okay? So for those that are wondering as well, if you're new here, you've never followed us before, we go live with every tornado warning here. That's our policy. There's a tornado warning, we're live. Just like we are right now, we're live. So if there's a tornado warning tonight, you don't have to worry about, oh, where I'm going to get coverage, what am I going to do tonight. Download our app, and when we go live, it's going to send you a notification, and you will be here, and we'll be going over it. So I want to make that clear. We have a lot of new people. I think we've had, over 1,000 people over the last day or so that's joined the page. That's our policy here. We go over tornado warnings if that comes up, especially as we get into the night, first part of tomorrow morning. So you don't have to worry about trying to find coverage. You can come straight here, and you'll get your coverage here. I can guarantee it. So we will be live throughout tonight. As a matter of fact, probably around 7, 8 o'clock. Once I get my cat nap in, kind of get ready for the overnight hours, we'll set up a YouTube continuous coverage so that way you guys have that information going the entire time. And then once we have any tornado warnings or anything like that, we'll just break in and you guys have that information here. So just making that clear at this time here. Megan, great question as well. Not expecting that because you're going to have wind gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. I've talked about this over the last couple of days. Folks, tomorrow, travel is going to be great. Northwestern Arkansas will watch it closely, but I'm not expecting any water that develops with these storms tonight to freeze over because you have wind gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour coming into the state as we get towards tomorrow. So don't freak out about roads freezing over yet and all that. You have time. A lot of people with this winter storm coming up feel like it's getting ready to happen tomorrow. Folks, you still got 48, 72, 96 hours away for this winter storm to come up. I guarantee you have a lot more time than what you're thinking right now. So you can still prepare. You're still good to go. You don't have to worry about the roads freezing over or anything like that tonight into Friday. You're going to be fine. I guarantee you. But a lot of people are probably thinking that this winter storm is going to happen within 24 hours, and they're rushing. Take your time. Prepare. If you prepare in a rush, you're going to forget something. But if you have a calm mind, you're stable, you're good, then you're going to be just fine getting into the weekend. Don't prepare in a rush, because I've done that before, and you will forget something. I guarantee you will forget something. So you're good with the travel. You don't have to worry about it. We'll watch Northwestern Arkansas first thing tomorrow morning. But even then, it's not going to be too big of an issue up there at this current time here. How bad is the hail threat? The hail threat is hatched across southwestern Arkansas. Let's go back over to our graphic here, and we'll go straight to our large hail threat. So from basically Mount Ida to Hot Springs down to the Queen to Waldron area, it is hatched for the potential of seeing 2-inch in diameter hail or greater. Ignore the graphic error, by the way. It's not a tornado risk. It's for the 2-inch in diameter hail. So that's what the hail looks like at this point, mainly across western and southwestern Arkansas at this current time here, okay? Conway, Central Arkansas, like I said before, everything's on a graphic. Folks, I'm stressing this right now. Stop what you're doing for just a second, and you got to read the graphic. Don't skim over it. You've got to find your city. You got to find where your city placed on our map, and that will answer you a lot of your questions, okay? You've got to slow down, and you've got to pay attention to the graphics. It's going to give you a lot of information that you think it's doing right now. It's very simple. All of our stuff is simple and easy to read. So make sure that you know where your cities are, you know where your counties are, and you're paying attention to the graphics, because it's going to answer a lot of questions that I'm seeing across the board right now. Stacy, how are you doing from northeastern Texas? You have I think you are an enhanced risk. I can double check for you on our software over here. I think you are in the enhanced risk too over there in northeastern Texas. Let me make sure that real quickly. Yeah, you are. You're in the enhanced risk too. Significant tornado threat, significant large hail threat over there, and also the potential of damaging winds. The damaging wind threat looks to be greater just to your east, but you have that tornado and large hail threat to deal with as we get towards tonight here, Stacy. So I'm going to go back over to Futurecast. I'm going to let that roll over. Yeah, so basically, that's great. I leave YouTube running all night when we're live. That's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to do that tonight. Just let YouTube run. We have constant information. We have radar, all that good stuff tonight, so you don't have to worry about missing anything here. If you're wondering on YouTube, one of my guys, can y'all put the YouTube link in the description so folks can go and subscribe to us on YouTube, and also make sure you technically you do have to hit the bell, but you don't anymore, because our app does alert you if we do go live on YouTube as well. So that's the thing. So you don't have to do it, especially if you have our app downloaded. If you don't, then you can. But just go make sure you subscribe. That way you're getting the notifications whenever we go live on there. So yeah, I don't know Chandler, can you do me a favor and tell me the progress of that? Because I know Shreveport is down. Boy, that is about as unfortunate timing I have ever seen. But they're replacing their radar right now. So how will severe weather be handled? Well, fortunately for us, Little Rock's radar gets a good amount of reach down there in southwestern Arkansas. And on top of that, we have additional ways of getting the radar down there in southwestern Arkansas. So you don't have to worry about that too much, folks. I promise you, if you're trying to find out coverage, you're trying to find out where to go and all that, you're at the right place. I promise you're at the right place. Make sure that you're prepared for tonight. A lot of people are scrambling because it's probably the first time they've heard severe weather for tonight since you've been hearing a lot more about winter weather than severe. But this is why we tell you guys about both, because we don't want you guys caught off guard, especially tonight here. Okay, so Barry, thank you so much for the compliment, man. Like I mentioned before, and I tell people this too. If I had a choice right now And I was sitting here telling you guys about severe weather and winter weather. I choose winter weather any day, all day. I don't like sitting here telling you guys about a tornado threat or a big time large hail threat or a damaging wind threat. We don't get any kind of enjoyment talking about severe weather. I cross my heart we don't. We had winter weather. Winter weather is a little bit more exciting. It does cause issues, but it's not catastrophic like, severe weather. So I say this all the time. If I had a choice, I'd sit here and talk about winter weather. But unfortunately, Arkansas has a mind of its own, and if it wants severe weather, that's what we have to talk about. But thank you so much, Barry, for that compliment, man. So, good question. Will there be a tornado watch in the Hot Springs area? Definitely. I can see a tornado watch going out tonight. I think it'll probably go for much of western and central and southern Arkansas, and we won't see that get issued until probably late this evening, going into the overnight hours at this point. So, Brittany, I've already got that. What does the risk look like for Saline County? We're going to go back to that. You are in the enhanced risk area. What is the level 3 severe risk for the potential of seeing the significant tornado threat, the hail threat, and the damaging wind threat at this point? Okay, so go check out our YouTube link. It is going to be in the comments below. Go subscribe. That way, whenever we go live tonight with our continuous coverage, you're not missing a thing here, guys. And you're gonna see the graphics. You're gonna see radar. It's basically our kind of a man-made version of our 24/7 channel, but it's not 24/7. It's just for this event. So go check that out. It's going to be streaming all night long, so you're not missing anything across the board. Let's see. Devo, great question. Great question. Yes, they are. There will be some supercells that we'll have to deal with getting into the overnight hours tonight. And the biggest thing that I'm worried about is if you get one supercell, and this SBC talked about this too, if you get a supercell to become dominant and it taps into the wind field that we will have tonight, I cannot rule out the potential of a significant tornado, which is an EF3 plus. I can't rule that out. I honestly, my conscience is telling me not to rule that out. I know temperatures are cool right now, guys. I get it. I've heard it all the time, but this is Arkansas. Arkansas has a mind of its own. We know how these situations go. Hopefully, that doesn't happen. But if you do get one supercell to become dominant, you're going to have to watch out, especially when we get into the night here. Sandy, great question as well. Is this going to be a supercell event, or is it going to be a squall line? It's going to be a combination of both. You're going to have both a supercell threat, especially early on, and then you're going to have a squall line threat as we get into the overnight hours tonight and the first part of your Friday morning here. So also do me a favor as well. Let's get this live stream out, because a lot of people need to know about this severe threat. Let's get this live stream out here, guys. And also, I do believe, what is it, tomorrow night? Yeah, tomorrow night's Friday. My mind is twisting right now. I think we're going to have Derek here tomorrow night to go over the winter weather threat. So you don't have to miss that. If you're looking for winter weather, we're going to talk about that tomorrow here, okay? So, Alicia, I want to stress this right now. Don't panic. I know that's easier said than done, but don't panic. Go into this event with a calm mind. Just put your reassurance within us. This is what we do. This is why we're here. We go over severe weather. We go over winter weather. This is why we're here, guys. We don't want anyone panicking. I know it's easier said than done. I know, but we're here. I promise you guys, anything happens, we are going to be on top of it. We're going to tell you what's the situation, what's going on, etc. So you don't have to worry about anything at this point, okay? So how am I doing today? I would prefer if we didn't have a severe threat to deal with, but I'm actually doing pretty good today. I appreciate the asking of that. I will stay tuned. Thank you for keeping us in the loop. That's why I'm here. That's why our entire team is here. This is what we have across the board. Like I mentioned before, folks, I'm seeing some comments about the winter weather. I'm deferring that until tomorrow. This is not me ignoring winter weather, but I want you guys to prioritize severe weather tonight because of how big the risk is. So the winter weather questions I will get to tomorrow, but I've got to get through this event tonight here, especially with it being an enhanced risk. So what do you think the greatest area will be if I had to think about it? I think where you see that orange area in the yellow zone as well. If you live in both of those zones, that's probably where your severe threat is going to be the greatest. The green zone, I don't want you to let your guard down, but I have a lot of questions across North Arkansas. We'll have to see if we can get the moisture that far north. But central, that yellow zone, and then the orange zone down there in the southwestern Arkansas, that's where I think they're going to have the biggest shot of seeing severe weather as we get into tomorrow here. Sasha, I've went over this as well. Yes, we will be live if we have any tornado warnings or anything like that. Our YouTube is going to be continuous throughout tonight, but we will break in on Facebook if we have any tornado warnings for tonight. A lot of people are new to the page. I want to clear this up too. I guarantee you, I cross my heart, we have a tornado warning. You're not going to have to go and search for other resources to get that information. You can come straight here, and we're going to keep you covered. So just keep that in mind. We've got a lot of people that are here at this point, so keep that in mind across the area. I saw some people in Hot Springs that were using cardboard boxes and pool floaties. Man, I love it here in Arkansas. Y'all are wild. I love it here. But yeah, I mean, cardboard boxes does work for hail damage. Just depends, because if you get one big enough, I mean, it'll punch a hole right through it. So I would recommend, if you have a garage or something like that, just kind of parking that in without having to do all that. But it's something that we'll keep an eye on here. Okay, so let me see here. I trust you guys. That's why I'm scared. There's no need to be scared, guys. Just be prepared. I guarantee you we're going to get through this. We got through March 31st. We got through April 4th last year. We got through June of last year with that significant hailstorm and the tornado threats. We got through all that last year, Arkansas. We can get through this. We get through this. Let's put this on the positive side, guys. For those that are wanting me to talk about winter weather, we get through tonight, you're going to see me just go all in with winter weather over the next 3 days. Get me past tonight, get me past the severe threat, and we're going to talk all about snow and cold and all the excitement that comes with this. So let's look forward to that. Let's get through tonight. We got to get the cold air here, and I promise you, we'll talk all about that as we get into the night here. So I'm scared and prepared. Oh, man. We are in a hamster state in El Dorado. My husband will be out working in the weather, so it's there. What is the time frame for tonight? I think I had you guys, let me see. Let me go back here. I think it was 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. That is the timing as we get into tonight here, okay? So that's going to be the timing. I sound better. Yeah, I got some decent sleep, a clear mind. We're good to go. We're good to go today, guys. So let's get through this. And like I mentioned before, we're going to talk all about the cold and snow and all that as we get into tomorrow here. Now, Elizabeth, I would love that. I would love it. Let me know in the comments if everyone else would love that. If we get this to bust, then that means we get to talk about winter weather a lot more tomorrow. Actually, not even tomorrow. Like, we can talk about it tonight if we get to overnight hours and there's not much going on. So, yeah. I mean, it's not out of the question with severe weather. There's always that 80-20, that 20% is there for that bust potential. But if this ends up busting, that's great. That means we get to go straight into winter weather mode. We get to talk about the cold air and all that once we get past that, guys. So keep that in mind across the board here, okay? So let me see here. I'm going over all the questions, guys. If I don't get to your comment, don't get upset with me, by the way. I've got a tablet over here, and I'll show you the tablet real quick. And this is all the questions that are coming. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that because of the brightness. All of those questions that are coming in right now are just streaming in. So if I don't get to your question, I do apologize. Thank you so much. Good job. Thank you for keeping me informed. That's what we do here. I'm on the second floor of round 345. Oof. Let me see here. The weather in northeastern Arkansas feels like December 10th. I think the bigger tornado threat is going to be to the southwest up there in northeastern Arkansas. Let's go take a look at this. I'm gonna kind of answer that question real quick. We're going to take a look at this. Okay, so what you're looking at right now, I'm going to turn this off. And what you're looking at real quickly here is there is the instability coming north. Okay, up here in the Jonesboro area, you're at 54 with a dew point of 43. But in El Dorado, you were at 66 with a dew point of almost 60 degrees, which is a little higher than we were expecting. So up here in northeastern Arkansas, if your dew points were to stay in the 40s, you're not going to have a tornado threat up there. But when your dew points are down here near 60 degrees, that's where you're going to have a tornado threat as we get into the night. So we'll keep an eye on it up there in northeastern Arkansas. But I do believe the biggest threat is going to be just to your southwest at this point. But we'll keep an eye on it at this current time here. Okay, so what will determine how bad North Central gets? I think if you can get the moisture up there. If you can't get the moisture in place, then you're not going to see too big of a risk up there as we get towards tonight. I think Central and South Arkansas, as it stands right now, has the best shot of seeing severe weather as we get towards night here. So just keep that in mind across the board. Let me see here. Yeah, I would love that too. Like I said before, if we don't get any severe weather tonight, honestly, there's no need to complain about it because we get to look forward to cold air and snow and all the other stuff. Speaking of which, I want to show you guys something cool. Let's take a look and see where that Arctic front is at this point. We'll zoom this out, and there's the Arctic front coming in. There's your front boundary, guys. And look at those temperatures. Boy, there's a reason why you have a severe threat tonight, because you have temperatures in the single digits to teens up here clashing with temperatures near 70 degrees. That's why you have a severe threat tonight, folks. That's why it is on the table as we get into tonight here. So that's looking at the cold air moving south. This is the warm air that it's going to be clashing with. That's why you have this severe threat. That's why we've been talking about it over the last couple of days here, because it's going to do a clashing of cold air and warm air at the surface here. Because you can see, look at it. First of all, look at the temperature difference. You've got 10 degrees up here in southwestern Nebraska, almost 80 degrees in Texas. I mean, that is almost a 70-degree difference between Nebraska and Texas right now. That is why you have a severe threat to contend with. It's because of the drastic temperature difference between behind the front and the head of the front here. You've got, that's literally almost pretty much a 70-degree difference between the two. So that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy across the board. So how does moisture affect the tornado threat? Well, if you have moisture in place, then you have storms that will go what we call surface-based. They become surface-based, then they tap into the environment that's in place, and then they have the tornado threat. If you don't have the moisture in place, then what happens is these storms tend to stay what we call elevated, and that's where you have the large hail and the damaging wind threat. So if you don't have the moisture in place, which you're looking for dew points near 60, then it's going to be a hail and damaging wind threat. But if you do have the moisture in place and you get one of those cells to really start to mature and become dominant, that's where you could have some serious problems as we get into tonight here. Okay, so let me see here. Mandy, this is not going to affect the winter weather at all. This has zero effect on the winter weather. I mean, this has zero effect on it. This is just simply you're getting the Arctic front here. It's clashing with temperatures that are pretty much at 70 degrees. That's where you're getting these severe weather threat here. This has nothing to do with what's going to happen on Sunday and into the Monday time frame here, guys. Okay, so yeah, everything you need to know is on the screen here. That is up to y'all. I can lead y'all to water, but it's going to be up to y'all to drink it. So you've got to know where you are on the county maps, on the city maps. It's very, very important, guys, okay? So let me see here. Let me see here. So pretty much any storm between 9 and 4 has that tornado potential. Yeah. I got distracted, didn't hear your response. So yeah, pretty much around that time frame, any storm that wants to get going and become strong and become dominant, that's where you're going to have that tornado threat. And I cannot rule out in good conscience a strong tornado or two. I hate talking about that, guys, but yeah, that's something that we have to watch as we get into tonight here, okay? So I'm going to go back over to the timing map real quick so you guys kind of see when to expect this. And I'm going to leave this up on the screen here. So let me see here. Pope County, that's near Russellville. The timing's on the screen. The biggest shot that Tony, you nailed it right at the ballpark, bro. You nailed it out. South of I-40 is going to be your best shot of seeing severe weather. If you live along and north of I-40, you have a slim chance of seeing severe weather, but south of I-40 is going to be the best shot of seeing severe weather as we get into tonight here. That is a great comment across the board here, okay? So, have a lot of people asking about tornado warnings in Jonesboro. I'm not expecting it up there, guys. You guys, I'm very, very, very worried that you guys are going to stay too cool to see any severe weather up there. This is why we're saying along and south of I-40 is your best shot. You've got to pay attention, guys. You've got to pay attention. We got a lot of comments right now asking for cities and counties and everything like that. You've got to pay attention to the graphics, guys. We spend a lot of time developing these graphics for you guys to pay attention to and for you guys to kind of know. You have to pay attention, guys. You got to know where your cities are. You got to know where your counties are. It's not only us. As a matter of fact, if you want to help us out here on the page, please do that, because it limits the amount of questions we get, and it really helps out with getting the point across to everybody else. Okay, so make sure you know where your cities and counties are. And I understand there's a lot of people that are new here to Arkansas. They are new to the page. They don't know how we work things here. We stress that you've got to know your counties and your cities. You have to. It is a crucial thing at this point. You've got to know where your counties and your cities are across the state here. Okay, so is there a hatched area across Central? No. It is super, super close to Little Rock. I mean, probably about a good 50 miles away from Little Rock. But if you were to be technical, it includes South Central Arkansas, Matthew. But it's more of a southwestern Arkansas hatched area. It's not up to Little Rock just yet, but it's just the outside areas, and you still have that level 2 tornado risk to deal with across the board. Okay, so yeah, and also one more thing, watch out for the straight line wind threat as well. A lot of people will tend to ignore it because it's not a tornado threat. You've got to pay attention to the straight line wind threat as well. It can cause just as many issues, and also could throw some power outages as well as we get towards the night here. Okay, so I'm gonna nap so I can be up tonight. I'm not far behind you, I promise. Once I get off this live stream, I'm gonna get a quick cat nap in to probably about 7:30, and then we'll get everything set up and ready to go here. Okay, so let me see here. I'm gonna go back over to the timing real quick, so you guys can kind of see what's going on with that. Okay, so JD, I think more of a tornado watch will be issued down there, and like I mentioned before, I've stressed this so many times. You got to know where your cities and counties are, guys. I'm seeing a ton of comments about specific cities and specific counties, and I'd be sitting here for 6 hours plus answering all those questions. We don't mind it, but you've got to meet us halfway, guys. All of our graphics have that information on there. Take more than 5 seconds to read a graphic, guys. You've got to take more than 5 seconds. You've got to read it. It tells you everything we need to know. We break these graphics down for that reason. You've got to know where your counties and your cities are, guys. It's very, very important across the board. Okay, so I-40 is basically my backyard, so I'm right on that line. Will the enhanced risk get larger? I don't see it getting any larger. I think where it's at right now is perfect. Is Central Arkansas going to be added? No, but don't let that be the deciding factor of not taking severe weather seriously. You've got to make sure, even if you're in that level 2 severe weather threat, that you have a game plan in place just in case you have severe weather threat to deal with here. So let me see here. That's actually an interesting question, Stormy. I'm going to say no. I'm probably wrong. I've never really researched that. But I'm going to say no right now. I'm going to say no, but I'll have to look into that later on across the board. So let me see here. Yeah, you might as well be teachers. They've read y'all the directions 657 times. We're still asking what to do. That's the biggest thing, guys. You've got to know where your cities are. That's the number one thing. You've got to know where your cities are, your counties are. Because once we get into the night, guys, and we have severe weather alerts to talk about, we're not going to be answering any questions. We're going to be on radar, going over the warning, going over whoever's downstream of that warning, and going from there. We've given you the water. We're leading you to that water. That's going to be up to you guys if you're wanting to pay attention and read the graphic. It's not us being blunt. It's us trying to keep you guys safe. This is a safety issue at this point because, honestly, I'm very concerned. A lot of people don't know where they live. And if you have any tornado warnings or any severe thunderstorm warnings and you don't know where you live, that's life-threatening. I mean, that's pretty much life-threatening. So you've got to know where you live, guys. It's not only for us here at the page, it's a safety concern that I have mentally because I'm like, if you don't know where you live and you have a tornado warning, you're not going to seek shelter because you're going to be like, where in the world is that county and you're in that county, and then boom. So make sure you know where you live, guys. That's just safety at that point, because that's the biggest thing I'm really stressing right now here. So wind speeds, I'm probably going to go 70 to 75 miles per hour across the board, especially across southwestern Arkansas and into southern Arkansas, with that line of storms that's going to push through at this current time here. Okay, and like I mentioned before, I know we're not. I know a lot of people are new to the state, and I'm not trying to be rude about that. It's just it's a safety concern of mine, because like I mentioned before, if you don't know where you live and there's a warning and you don't seek shelter, then we all know 2 + 2 = 4. So that's what I'm worried about. It's a concern of mine, because you got to know it. You have to know it. That's just how it is. So please, thank you for showing exactly what y'all are asking. That's why we have this timing map up right now. All your information is on there. We're actually going to post a county map right after this live stream, so we can kind of drive that point home. The hail chances right now is level 2, which is pretty a low risk, but don't let your guard down. You still have a hail threat across the Russellville area here as we get towards 9. Okay, so let me see here. Yeah, good question. Is the sun being out going to play a factor, Devo? Yes, it will, because what it's doing, you have a lot of what's called dry air in place right now. So what that's doing, it's limiting any kind of shower or thunderstorm activity from going up prematurely. And what it's doing is allowing that warm front to really move into the state. That's why your severe threat is going to rapidly increase as we get towards night. I was refraining from showing you guys this, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I think it's going to drive home the point in terms of severe weather threat. So give me just 1 second, and I want to show you guys this. This is from the HIR, and this is a tornado threat. And this is why I'm sitting here right now on the live stream going over this severe weather risk here. So give me just 1 second. Let me see if I can get this pulled up. And it should be coming up here in just a second here. And there's some, well, actually, never mind. I was going to say there's some good news, but never mind. Yeah, this just drives home the point that this is going to be a sudden, basically a enhanced risk threat. Let's go over to this real quick. So this is what's called a significant tornado parameter. And what this does, it combines all your ingredients and it puts it within a model. And what it does, it kind of shows you kind of what to expect there. So don't pay attention too much to the numbers, because technically, if you want to be technical, if you're at a 1, you do have a shot of seeing a significant tornado. That's kind of the threshold. So you can see across the board where it is. This is right around 3 o'clock in the morning. Central and South Arkansas has that best shot of seeing it. North Arkansas, right now, if the moisture doesn't make it, you're not going to have too big of a risk up there. But from Little Rock along I-40 south, that's where you're going to have that severe weather potential as we get into the night. And this carries on throughout the morning hours and into the first part of your Friday morning across the state here. So that's what I was wanting to show you guys, talking about this severe weather threat here. So I'm going to go back over to this graphic, and we're going to go back over to the timing map. Also, one more thing before I go back. No difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. And I know here in Arkansas, what's called it's a wait and see tornado warning. No, there's no wait and see tornado warnings. It's a get your behind in a shelter tornado warning. So tornado warning gets issued tonight, especially with it being overnight. You're not going to see it coming. Take shelter. Don't wait for it to be on top of you. Don't wait for it to get confirmed. Seek shelter, because I'm pretty sure if we have any tornado warnings tonight, that means we've got a cell that has developed, and with the environment in place, it's probably going to produce a significant tornado. So make sure if you're under a tornado warning tonight, you have that plan ready to go. Tornado watch just means that conditions are favorable for seeing tornadoes. Same thing with a severe thunderstorm warning. This is not a wait and see game with severe thunderstorm warnings. It's not a TikTok challenge or anything like that. This is a get you behind the shelter and do the right thing severe thunderstorm warning. So that would be for large hail. That would be for tornado potential and for the potential of straight line wind damage as well. I don't foresee a severe thunderstorm watch with this event. I think your conditions are just too favorable for tornadoes. But in a normal situation, if you do have a severe thunderstorm watch, it just means that conditions are favorable for severe thunderstorms as well. So this is not going to go into this is not going to solidify into a line. but just pop-up developing cells. So what it's going to do, it's going to have your supercell threat, you're going to have those pop-up cells, and it is going to solidify into a line. That's why you have the damage you win threat. But it's going to be late. You're going to have that supercell threat at first, and then it's going to consolidate into a line, and then it's going to finally move out at this point, okay? So let me see here. Yeah, no problem, brother. That's why we're here. 53 and super cloudy up there in Stone County. That's why I said that northern Arkansas right now as it stands, if you don't get the moisture up there, you're probably not going to see much. I think this is probably going to be central and in the southern Arkansas at this current time here, okay? Let me see here. I heard that Shreveport is down, and it's going to be harder to spot anything down there in southwestern Arkansas. That is the case. We do have Little Rock's radar that does reach down into southwestern Arkansas that will help us out, but we have other means of getting that radar data here, guys, so you don't have to worry about it at this point, okay? So I am outside with a t-shirt with the kiddos with a small jacket. Makes me concerned. That is in Perry County. This is going to be tonight. I've told you guys this over the last couple of days. This was up to you guys to pay attention to the severe weather threat. This is tonight. This is real time. This is tonight. This is coming through tonight and the Friday morning. That's why we've told you guys about both severe weather and winter weather. This is now, if you've paid attention over the last couple of days, then you know for a fact that this was coming. So make sure tonight you have that game plan ready to go at this point. So, good question at this as well. Northwestern Arkansas. It is going to be a quick burst of snow, and it's going to be out of here. I'm not expecting any thunder snow, not expecting anything in terms of major impacts. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be a quick burst snow, Northwest Arkansas, and it's going to be out of here. No impacts in central, no impacts in southern or northeastern Arkansas, or in eastern or western. It's just going to be a Northwest Arkansas event, and then we're going to be done. Got some requests for a live for the Futurecast. There it is. I'm going to let that go so you can pay attention to that as well. If you do not have a tornado shelter, what I want you guys to do is do a little bit of scouting. Do you have a center part of your home that does not have windows? If you live in a house that has a ton of windows, do you happen to have a closet in the center part of your home? That's what I want you to do. If you don't have a tornado shelter, it's not the end of the world. Just get in that center part, the lowest part of your home. Find that closet where it doesn't have any windows or anything like that, and you want to put as many walls between yourself and that potential tornado as possible. So you want to get to that center part and the lowest part of your home if you don't have a tornado shelter. If you have one, obviously that's recommended, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world here, okay? So let me see here. I see that all the time, and I don't know. People are just weird nowadays. Let me see here. I live in what's called Tornado Alley. Yep. The most center. Yep. There you go, Mindy. The most center part away from windows. You don't want to be anywhere near a window if you're dealing with a severe thunderstorm or a tornado warning. You don't want to be anywhere near the windows. There's also a myth that if you lift your window open before a tornado hits, that it would help out. It's not going to do it because the tornado is going to take out the window regardless. So don't do that. Don't waste any time with that. Just go to shelter. Just get the shelter. Just get the center part of your home. Get a pillow, a blanket, a bicycle helmet, something to protect your head as well. And you want to get down. You want to squat, and you want to put your hands over your head. And that's what you want to do if you have a tornado warning as we get into tonight here, okay? Yep, in a closed area, no windows, just like a closet. There's also a bunch of shelters as well, the high schools and stuff like that are open that will let you go in. Let me see here. Also, hospitals work as well. I know there's some hospitals that do have an underground shelter. I know a couple here in Little Rock that have that underground shelter that you can take advantage of as well here. But make sure if you're going to do that, make sure you're super, super close to one. Don't waste time traveling 30 to 40 minutes to go find one because that's wasting time. And if you have these storms, by the way, I forgot to mention, storm motions tonight are probably going to be in the area of I think about 40 to 50 miles per hour, if not faster. So the time that you're going to have to deal with these warnings is going to be limited. So just kind of keep that in mind as we get into tonight here. Okay, so once the line has passed, Anaya, I hope I pronounced your name right. If I didn't, I apologize. It's been a long day. Once that line passes through, you get to unlock the winter weather version of Cameron. Hopefully that answered your question. Basically, yes, the tornado threat's over, everything's over, and you get to unlock the winter weather side of me, and we get to start talking about cold and snow. So once we get past the night, we'll do that. So I really appreciate you, Lori. It's not just me here; it's the entire team that I have behind me. Let me see here. Let's see. Okay, so let me see here. I hope that was somebody. I hope that was someone else's. I hope you were responding to someone else, because I was like, when have you been to the house? So, excuse me. So, let me see here. You remember last night to be prepared almost weather. This is not the time to be asking now, James. I get it. I do. When you have a winter storm here in Arkansas, it's kind of something that we don't see every day. Naturally, that's going to be the talk of the weather. I mean, that's just natural. I mean, if you lived here long enough, you know for a fact, like last year, we only had one winter weather event, and then that was it. When you start talking about a high-impact winter storm, it's going to be the talk of the century here in Arkansas. So I'm not really blaming anyone for not knowing, but this is the time now to know. This is the time now to get prepared and stuff like that. If you didn't hear about it until now, this is the time to do it. I'd rather be late than never happening, if that makes sense. So that's the biggest thing here. Okay, so Sasha, thank you all, you guys, for all the information and graphics. Overnight storms makes us uneasy. All of our bedroom space have larger windows. Our safe space will be a walk-in closet. Hey, there you go. Walk-in closet is perfect. I mean, that's better than nothing. That is better than nothing. I would take a walk-in closet over dealing with a room that has a ton of windows here. That's perfect. So how long before summer gets here, man? I'm counting down days too. We're about a couple of months away from all that. So let me see here. Can I ask how accurate do you think the hourly is on the app? It's pretty accurate because it uses the same data that we use for our timing maps and everything like that. So it's pretty accurate. Let me see here. Also, universities as well. Yeah, you can use universities. Biggest thing I want to stress right now is make sure you do a lot of scouting. I told you guys about this yesterday and a couple of days before. But if you're just now tuning in, you're like freaking out because all you've heard is snow and cold, and now you're like, oh man, we got a severe threat to deal with. I'm not gonna sit here and blame you for it because I mean it's better late than never, right? But make sure what you do is you kind of scout out where you are. So you can go on Google Maps, find where your house is, and then you can see like, is there a grocery store, or is there a hotel, or is there, a university or a hospital or somewhere that has a shelter. Use that scouting ability and be like, hey, okay, if I can get here in 5 minutes, I know the warning. We'll give you a 30-minute heads up. Boom, you're there. You've got a game plan. Simple as that. So, like I said, I'm not gonna blame anyone for not knowing about this because I get it. But I'd rather for you guys to know now than know when there's a tornado warning on the board. That's why we're telling you guys to make sure you share this live stream so that way we can get this information out across the area. Okay, so it's a tornado risk high in Little Rock. It is a level 2 tornado risk, which is quote unquote low. Don't let your guard down, guys. You don't need this to be a high risk to take severe weather seriously across the area here. Okay, so some of the team is in the comments is also answering your questions as well. So is this the tornado potential for tonight? Yes, it's going to be overnight tonight. If you are in an RV park, Barbara, I would recommend doing the scouting thing that I mentioned, kind of seeing if you have any hotels or universities or hospitals nearby, because I don't want you being in an RV park with this kind of magnitude of severe weather that's going to be coming in as we get into tonight here. So let me see here. So the model run that I'm using right now, Stephen, you're not going to be able to access it. It's a kind of a combination of all the short range data, and we just put it out on the screen for you guys to kind of see. So you're not going to be able to access it, but that's what we're running at this point. So yeah, Brittany, that's just how it is. Let me see here. Let me go over this. I'm from Arkansas, traveling. I'm in a camper in Still, Missouri. Can I get my weather information from there as well? Jocelyn, yes, you can. You can access our weather app. It has information for the entire country, which includes your hourly, your 7-day forecast, and stuff like that. So you can go and check that information out. Just go download our app. It's going to be arkansasweatherwatchers.com/app. You can look in the comments. It should be pinned in the comments. It should. If it's not, then one of my guys can get that taken care of at this point. Okay, Tori, if you can't hear anything, you may have to back out of Facebook and then come back in. Facebook's weird. Let me see here. After the line passes, how cold are we talking? I think I had the forecast and the majority of the cold air coming in on Sunday, but we can go and look at that real quick. I'm not gonna show it to you guys because I'm not prioritizing winter weather right now, especially with severe weather coming in. But yeah, I've got the majority of the cold air coming in on Saturday. Saturday is going to be the last day for everybody to kind of get their stuff prepared for the incoming Arctic freeze that's going to be over us over the next couple of days after this. So let me see here. I know y'all will be tracking the storms, so you'll give us enough time to get somewhere safe before the storms reach the areas. That is a 1,000% certainty. Our times, whenever we do warnings, we can go as high as probably sometimes as an hour. We can let you know an hour in advance that a storm is headed your way. So you'll be able to have more than ample time to get everybody, get your son, get somewhere safe. If you were to see one in the Johnson County area here. So let me see here. Let me see here. You need to know which direction. Good question. Not question. Good comment, Lisa. You need to know which direction of the storm is coming, and then go into a room somewhere with the mini walls between you and the direction where it's coming from. That's a great comment. That's great. Most cases, if you're in that center part of the hallway, and that's the only center part that you have, it's honestly not going to matter which direction you go. But that does apply to some houses that have more than one room of ample shelter. So let me see here. Yeah, Walmart's pad. People are preparing for the Snowmageddon. Jersey. I'm gonna be real shocked, and I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but I think there's gonna be a lot of upset people if something ends up happening with that Sunday and the Monday system. I think right now everything's solid. I just really hope that this ends up verifying and not busting, because there's going to be a lot of upset people if this ends up not verifying to the fact of what everyone's been hyping this up to. So I really hope this ends up verifying so that everyone can have that snow potential. But I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of upset people if it doesn't end up verifying. So let me see here. Like I said before, I'm getting a lot of specific questions for cities and counties and all that. You got to pay attention to the graphics, guys. I've told you all a million times, and at this point, I'm not sure what else to do. So we're going to go over to the timing. I'm going to leave it up once again so you guys can kind of see what's going on, but this is what we've got across the board here, okay? So someone asked, when a squall line forms, does the tornado threat end? No. He is one of our senior forecasters here, does an amazing job. He will tell you straightforward, no, the tornado threat does not end, because you can still get a tornado threat along the line. Your tornado threat does not come to an end until that line has completely passed your location and you start to feel that colder air moving in. So, Jim, thank you so much, man, for getting that comment, man. We really appreciate it. So, everyone needs to know where their county is on the map and eye on the radar image. I couldn't say any better, Cindy. Let me see here. So how fast will these storms be moving? About 40 to 50 miles per hour. That's how fast these storms are going to be moving as we get towards night. Northern Arkansas, the Independence County area, right now it depends on how much moisture you get. If you don't get a lot of moisture up there, you're not going to see too much in the way of severe weather, but you still will see some thunderstorms as we get into tonight here. So, folks, we've got to stress so much about the counties and the cities. You have to know where you live. You have to know where you live. You have to know where you live. It is a safety concern at this point. I'm not even concerned about the questions. I'm concerned about the fact that there's people that legitimately don't know where they live here in Arkansas, and that's honestly very scary, because we have one of these situations where you have a big time severe event or something like that, you don't know where you live, it's life threatening. So please, even if it's a Google search, please find out where you live and pinpoint that on the graphics, guys. It's honestly borderline scary. A lot of people don't know where they live here. It's starting to concern me a lot more. I am not, Brian, I'm going to answer your question, buddy. I'm not going to do it tonight. A lot of people are going to be upset about that. That's just how it's going to be. But I'm not going to do it tonight. It's not going to happen at 7 p.m. because we've got severe weather to this magnitude. If it was a marginal risk, yeah, I'd do it. But would it be an enhanced risk and the potential of a significant tornado threat? I'm not going to do it. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, all weekend long, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it all that weekend, so you might as well get prepared for it. But tonight, no, I'm not going to do it because of the fact that you have such a big tornado threat to deal with as we get into tonight. And that's just how it's going to be. Let me see here. Thank you guys for everything. Y'all are still the only ones covering this. Sarah, that's unfortunate, but that's what we do. That's what we do here at Arkansas Watchers. We cover everything. I would love to sit here and talk about winter weather all day long. I would love to do that. And like I said, on a personal aspect, I really hope Sunday and Monday's event lives up to its hype, because if it busts, there's going to be a lot of upset people, because there's a lot of people that are hyping this up right now and stuff like that, and I hope it happens. I really do. But if it doesn't, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be upset when it doesn't. So that's how it is. Let me see, the Jonesboro area, I've covered Jonesboro a million times. Tonight, I'm not expecting hardly much up there in northeastern Arkansas because I'm doubting that you get the moisture. If that does change, we will let you know. I want to make this clear as well. A lot of clarity I need to make. Folks, if there's a tornado warning tonight, don't panic. Don't panic. We're here. We are here. We're here. We're here. We're here to keep you updated. We have to go live. We're going to be live. We're going to be going over it. Just be prepared tonight. That's all we're asking. Don't freak out on me or anything like that. I know that's easier said than done, but prepare. Just, you guys, we've been through severe weather once before. We know how this goes. Just be prepared for severe weather for tonight. If you don't see anything, that's great. If you do, just make sure you have a game plan ready to go. This is why we sit here for 4 days telling you guys, so you don't have to worry about this on day one. You don't have to worry about trying to figure out where to go and what to do and trying to figure out where you are on the map. If we talk about it 4 days in advance, you already know that information, guys. That's why we beg y'all to pay attention to severe weather just as much as y'all pay attention to winter weather. That's why I'm pleading to you guys right now. We've got to get that under control moving forward. Because I get it. I get winter weather is exciting. But severe weather, especially after what happened last year, guys. Last year was rough. Last year was rough here in Arkansas. We saw a lot more severe weather last year than we did winter weather. I get the excitement with winter weather, guys, but you got to make sure that you're prepared for severe weather. It is a life-threatening deal compared to what you would deal with winter weather. I'm sitting here begging you guys to take severe weather more seriously than what has been going on across the board. That's what I'm thinking at this point, guys. Okay, so let me see here. I'm gonna ask a few more questions here. Yeah. So Ron, I actually do. We do. So we do. We do have counties on our maps. I prefer cities because a lot of people are new here in Arkansas and they don't know their counties right out the gate. So we have cities on there just kind of on there, but we will probably try to find some way to have cities and counties on there once again. But that's why we have it, guys. And yeah, we have county maps on our site. That's the biggest thing here. Okay, so let me see here. Yes, we already talked about it. Yes, there probably will be a tornado watch tonight. Let me see here. We'll go over everything at this point. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so will there be another live or any updates tonight? We're going to have a live continuous coverage tonight. I'm not going to be here, obviously, with that continuous coverage until we have to break in for any alerts. But YouTube is going to have kind of some peaceful background music. It's going to have your graphics, your radar, and all the other stuff. So you don't have to worry about that for tonight here. Okay, and Facebook will be used for any kind of breaking in for alerts and stuff like that as we get into the night here. Okay, so let me see here. And also, 11 to 7. Carla, I would love to break it down to a more specific range, but I can't. Because that's just how storms work. Storms have a mind of their own, and if I give you a specific second, minute, hour, and it doesn't happen, then we'll have to change that a million times. That's why we go with a broad, because we're not covering just one city. We're covering the entire area here, because that's what we do here. We cover everywhere, and that's why we go for that timing, because that's why I mentioned storms have a mind of their own, and they don't go off of one specific timing. They go off of a broader timing more than does for a specific one. So let me see here. I'm going to go over any more questions at this point. Jonesboro, let me go back over to Jonesboro real quick so I can kind of ease minds for the Jonesboro area. Tornado threat, Jonesboro's not even in a tornado threat tonight, guys. They're not even in a tornado threat. It's going to be a large hail and a damaging wind threat up there, and that's it. No tornado threat up there in Jonesboro at this current time here. So let me go back over to timing real quick, and that's how it's going to be at this current time. So let me see here. I've been dropping links to counties and cities, hoping people would click on them. Mindy, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that. So, James, like I mentioned before, folks, I'm not going to talk about winter weather tonight. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to do it tonight. I'll do it tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, but I'm not going to do it tonight, especially when you've got a tornado threat in central and southern Arkansas. Mallory, I've seen your comment a million times. Jonesboro's not in a tornado threat at all. And Carla, I wasn't trying to be mean or anything. That's just how the weather is here in Arkansas. I would love to sit here and give you a specific timing. I would love to, but that's why I can't. Because if I gave you a specific time and it doesn't happen, then obviously, naturally you get frustrated because like, where's the storm? It's supposed to be right now. But that's why we do a broader timing, if that makes sense. So let me see here. And let me go ahead. Yeah, just got the closet cleaned out. Praying for everyone's safety. Thank you, Cameron, for the knowledge. I appreciate it. That's why I'm here. Let me see here. I haven't seen your comment. Your comment may have gotten buried. I don't know which city or specific area you're talking about. So you got to realize this. There's a million comments right now. So if I don't get to you, don't get upset with us, guys. Okay, we're literally trying our best here to cover every single person. If we don't get to you, that's just how it's going to be. So let me see here. Just got a phone notified that Southeast Arkansas is under the enhanced risk. Yep, that's what we're talking about at this point. Let me go over a little bit more. So yeah, we're here. We're new to Arkansas. Thank you for making it easier. That's what we do. Let me see here. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, South Arkansas appreciates the continuous coverage tonight. You do not know how much that means to me as a South Arkansas native. That means the world to me, Michelle. I really appreciate it. So, are you going to get rest before the live? Yep, I am. I'm fixing to get off the live stream coming up here in just a second. And let me see here. And I think that is it for all of the comments here. And Mindy, yeah, I'm about to take a nap, but my body clock does not do well with naps, especially with severe weather because of all the adrenaline. So right now, I think I'll probably sneak in an hour, and then I'll be right back up. So let me see here. I think that is it across the comments, you guys. So that's all I got for you guys right now. I'm just letting you guys know that all the information can be found on the page as well. You don't have to worry about trying to look elsewhere for information. It's all going to be on the page, and you also get notified. So make sure that you go and download our app so you don't miss any information for tonight. I would say probably around, I'm going to go 7:30. 7:30 will probably be the time frame that we'll have that YouTube continuous coverage. And that coverage, by the way, is going to last the entire event. So you're going to have YouTube streaming for pretty much all night into tomorrow morning, so you're not missing anything. And what I'm looking at, there's one more question I'm going to get. What about Texarkana? 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. is going to be your time frame. You have that wind risk, that potential for damaging winds, the large hail threat, and the tornado threat as we get into tonight, guys. So that is all I got for you guys at this evening. I'm going to go ahead, kind of relax a little bit, and get ready for tonight here. So stay safe, stay prepared. Like I mentioned before, I hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings about not talking about winter weather, but some things in life are a little bit more important, especially when you have severe weather to this magnitude. So tomorrow, Same time tomorrow, we're going to sit here and talk about the winter storm. On Saturday, we're going to do the same thing. On Sunday, we're going to do the same thing. And we've got a ton to talk about with that potential, guys. So y'all take care. Stay safe. Next time you see me will be when we're talking about any additional alerts across the board, and when we start doing radar updates and stuff like that. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather.